Caribe.
Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. This is the Blaze the Lion podcast. I am your host, Blaze the Lion. Blaze the man on a mission. Blaze the machine. Blaze the superhero. Blaze the fire that. Yeah, okay. All right, moving on. Yeah, sometimes it hits and other times.
Yeah. I understand.
Right now, we are live on YouTube at the Blaze the Lion podcast. So make sure you log on, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a damn friend about the Blaze the Lion podcast. We are also on iSquad TV on Facebook. All right. So for those who are loving the movement, who love what we're doing, and I say we because it's not just me, it's a team. It's a team behind me, but it's also a team in front of me, and that's you all. You. Yes. So if you want to support to the movement, to the podcast, you got a couple of, hey, what up, Josh? What up, JTM? Hey. Yes, you can contribute. Send me your money. Send me your chips at anchor.fm/Blaze the Lion/support. And we got three tiers on there. First tier is 99 cents. Second tier is $4.99. And third tier is $9.99. And what do you get? You get the satisfaction of giving. The joys, the good karma, right? And just giving. Also, for your giving, you get cool t-shirt, the Blaze the Lion podcast t-shirt. We got them in youth sizes, and we got them in adult sizes. We have them in tank tops as well for the ladies, so you can flex your muscles, especially if you live in the South Florida region where it's always summertime. You can wear the tank top any time of year. Indeed. All right. If you're watching right now, I need you to do me a favor. Click that like button. Click like and like this episode. And also subscribe to the Blaze the Lion podcast. Indeed. This month's theme for December is models and fashion. Yes. Say cheese. So we getting your camera ready. Last week we spoke to Zofly and she gave us her experiences, how she just jumped in head first into the fashion industry, and she shared a little bit about her background and her history in the industry and gave us tips and different things. So it's quite lovely. If you have not seen it, please check it out. That was episode 51. With that being said, tonight is episode 52. And we have yet another model on the podcast. Yes. Someone here who digging her energy. Not just friendly, though she is. Not just beautiful, though she is. But a good, positive energy. Someone you can kick it with, someone you can build with, someone you can get some good feedback on life with, someone you can just laugh with. So I feel like tonight, I know I'm building the anticipation. just roll with me.
Yeah.
So tonight, there will be laughs. There will be serious conversations. There may be topics that may have you pondering, that may have you sit like, I didn't realize that. She'll be dropping some gems on you. She'll be giving you her experiences. She'll be giving you that pose. I mean, all the models do a little pose, their favorite pose. So, hey, see how natural that comes, right?
Yeah.
Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce for episode 52 tonight's guest, none other than Miss Renee H, welcome to the pod.
Thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure being here, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of your podcast. I mean, this is a good opportunity, and I'm honored to be here. So thank you, Blaze the Lion.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, but yeah, thank you.
of course, of course, of course. So I gave my mini, my short
hmm
introduction of yourself, but feel free for anyone who doesn't know you, share a little bit about yourself.
My name is Renee Houghton. On Instagram, you may have seen my page, natural, NAT_URALLL. You probably have seen one of my pictures before. Not that I'm trying to brag or boast, but a lot of times I meet people who be like, "Oh, I've seen you before." I'm like, "Oh, really?" Or I've seen you. So I don't know. You may have seen me before on Instagram or somewhere else. I'm not sure. But I am a model. I've freelance modeled for 4 years, and then I recently got signed in 2020 to the Source Models in Miami, and I'm pretty happy with my agency. They definitely treat me well, and I like them. I'm comfortable with my agency that I'm with right now. I also, um, you know, do jobs here and there that are very nice, and I work with a lot of professional clients, and I do like that. I appreciate that. So that's another reason why I do like my agency a lot. Like I said, I've been with them since 2020, and yeah, I'm not disappointed with them at all. I would encourage like any up and coming models, if they really are serious, to reach out to the Source, because I think they're a really decent agency to be with. So, but yeah, and I'm also a real estate agent. I'm with Cole Banker. So I started modeling, and then I went into being a realtor. So I also do that. I thought that was like the perfect feel for me, you know, so I can be my own boss and stuff like that. So, you
Yes.
know, and what else do I do? I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's about it for me. I met Blaze at a fashion show when I was a freelance model, and that's how I met Blaze. So it's nice to see me on his podcast now. And I met him like what, 4 years ago? I think it
Man,
was like
time flies.
I think it was like 4 years ago. So yeah, it's nice to see how that comes back around, and now I'm on his podcast, and yeah, that's pretty cool to me.
Yes, yes, definitely. I am big on energy, and sometimes you never know. You think you just having small talk with somebody, but there's already a business. There's already some sort of opportunity. There's a
Yeah.
seed for that opportunity being planted right there. So
Yeah, yeah, that's
that's
true.
why,
That's true.
yeah,
True.
you just gotta always be ready. Those
Yeah.
first impressions,
I agree with you. I do. I do. You never
never know,
know. You got to treat
never
people
know.
treat people, professional when you're in the modeling industry, because you really don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah, yeah. My mom and a few of my homegirls would tell me because when I would go to the grocery store, I would just throw on sandals and like a wife beater, and I didn't really care. And they're like, "Listen, not that you have to get dressed up to go to the grocery store,
Yeah, yeah.
but you just never know. Anytime that you leave the house, you just never know who you're gonna see, or you may not even see them, but they may see you."
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Your appearance tells a lot about. I mean, it doesn't really tell everything, but your appearance does tell a lot about who you are. If your car is clean, that tells a lot a lot about you. If you brush your teeth and you take care of yourself. So yeah, that you really don't know who you're mingling with sometimes. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. As a personal trainer, I'll be in the gym and I'm an overall nice person, but when you come to my class, I'm passionate about fitness, right? So I may appear to be somewhat of a drill sergeant of
Yeah.
sorts with personality and stuff. All right. So I just go hard. I push the people that are in the gym that are in my class. And months later, I may find them on social media or I might see them on TV or something. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know who they were. Or
Yeah.
they happen to be like the wife of an artist that I listen to or
Mhm,
something. I'm
mhm.
like, oh.
Yeah.
And all this time, I'm in the gym being myself, being hard and being tough. And I would have never known,
Yeah, that's
who's
true.
into it.
That's true. That is true. I agree.
So
Yeah.
never know. All right. So let's speak about how you got started. How long have you been modeling and how was that beginning journey like?
Well, I first got started, to be honest with you, I really didn't take it like growing up, people always told me that I look like a model, I could be a model, you should be a model. And I'm like, okay, alrighty. So I changed my hair. Like I used to have like an afro, and I cut my hair, and I said, I'm gonna try this modeling thing, because I started working with local photographers. I started working with this one guy in Sunrise, and he took a headshot. First of all, let's rewind. I was talking to my cousin, and I was like, "Oh, I really want to try modeling." And she's like, "Okay, well, I have a photographer." And the guy was in Sunrise, so I started working with him, and just doing like freelance work, And there, I took one headshot, and then
All
that
it took.
that's all. Yeah, I took one headshot, and then somebody else hit me up, and I was like, "Oh, he has quality work." And then I just started, paying for my shoots, booking my shoots, started getting more professional and stuff like that. And then I wanted to get signed to an agency. It took me a long time to get signed to an agency, I can tell you that. But when I did get signed, I was satisfied with the source model, like I said previously. So I mean, sometimes it might take you a long time to get signed, but you really don't want to be just signed to anybody, because if that agency doesn't fit your personality or what you have in mind that you want to where you want to go, then so patience is always key. If you want to accomplish something, just have patience, because you might rush and end up in the wrong situation. Like I
Hmm.
didn't rush, but I ended up with the agency who I think they're pretty cool. They don't really bother me for they I just when and the thing is with my agency, um when they send me an email, I try to get back to them as quick as possible, because they like that. It's just like a job. You got to treat it like you got to show up on time. You got to reply, let them know that you got their emails and stuff, and reply back to them immediately. So I mean, I've been modeling freelance for 4 years, and then got signed in like the fifth year. So I'm
Okay.
pretty satisfied. I'm pretty okay. Did I answer the question?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Good. Good.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So during this journey, so prior to you being signed and you being freelance, have you ever been in a situation where you felt uncomfortable or you just felt like the direction of the photographer was just way left, like out of your, or do you like screen your shoot?
No, I really never had a photographer, a photographer, a photographer that had made me feel uncomfortable. To be honest with you, I mean, certain things now that I'm signed, I would never do again. Now that I have more sense, like I would never do. Like I won't tell you what I won't do, but I'll tell you what I will do. I will do modest apparel shoots. Like I don't want to be in a bikini. Well, I just told you that I wouldn't tell you what I didn't want to do, but I'm now telling you what I wouldn't do. So I would never. I'm done with bikini shoots. I'm done with, um, anything that has to do with like, you know, anything that is not modest. I don't want to do it. So but when I first was modeling, I really never had an experience where an outrageous experience with a photographer. Like, I've heard stories, but thank God that never happened to me. I really never really had like a bad experience. No, that never happened to me. But I can't, yeah. But for the most part, um, it's just what has changed for me being a model is the modest apparel. Like I don't want to be, I mean, I don't want to see another bikini shoot in Miami. I don't know about you, Blaze, but I know I don't. So that's pretty much where I'm headed because being a model, and if you want to be represented and you want to be looked at a certain way, you really do have to change your style because you being a model doesn't mean you have to pose in a bikini every day or have a bikini shoot in your portfolio. Um,
Right.
I've gotten jobs where I don't have to do any of those things, and I've got paid pretty well.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's the stigma, right? It's a tag where you say as a guy, right? So you meet a woman and she's a model, and immediately, you're like, oh God, okay.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you got the lingerie and the swimsuits.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I mean, I've heard stories from women telling me their first shoot was a guy they had met. They didn't even know that well, and he came in their house, and they're like in a towel,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
doing
Yeah,
all
yeah,
type of shoots and
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So, and I feel like
but
certain guys will use that. Hey, like I'm a photographer, or
yeah,
hey, I can get you into certain gigs or certain whatever. So,
yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, but like I said before, to be honest with you, I don't. I know where that mentality comes from, but you really at being a model, you really don't have to do a bikini shoot. All you need to do is pretty much your digitals. Like digital are standing in front of a plain white wall and just making sure that the sunlight hits you and the pictures are clear with no makeup on. But to be honest, anybody trying to be a model right now at a higher level really don't need to do it. In my opinion, they don't need to be doing bikini shoots and nudity and all that stuff. I don't think so. I just don't think so. And I mean, I look back at how I started. I'm like, I did not need to do none of that. To book the job that I have right now. Not that I'm boasting, but it's true. Like you really don't need to do a swimsuit. You don't need to. All you gotta do is have good digitals, and have a good agency that's willing to sign you and give you jobs.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. In one of my previous episodes, this might have been in August, we our theme was the arts, and then we spoke to a actress, and she was saying similar, where she's at the point where she's not hungry for gigs. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? So
mhm.
she's not gonna lower her standards and just do any scene or any
Yeah,
film
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
because the money is good or just because that's what she needs to do, in order to get in. So it's good to hear that because on TV and on social media, it's damn near everywhere that one would assume
Yeah,
that would be how you
yeah,
move
yeah, yeah.
forward.
It's kind of like and it not only puts you in a certain category, but it makes you look. For me, it's my opinion. It makes you look hungry. Like you do anything just for anything, and when you really want to get jobs, because a lot of I mean, I've had jobs where they pay you like a day rate, and that's about it for the day. You can pay a bill with it. But if you want to, I'll be honest.
Speak about it.
Yeah, if you want to make like money, you have to you have to be clean. You really do. And there probably are some jobs out there that will, be a bikini shoot or whatever, and they'll pay you maybe, more than you can probably pay two bills with it. So, but there's jobs where you can, you know, pay a mortgage payment, you can pay a car payment with it, that whole bill. I mean that whole payment that you get for that high end job where you're not naked or in a boudoir or nudity, that can cover a mortgage payment. You can pay off a car note with that. You can pay off, So that's basically what I'm saying. You don't like these jobs with bikinis and stuff. I mean, it's really not worth it. In my opinion, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And I
And
and
then you regret it.
I've seen I forgot her name, but and good thing I forgot her name because I wasn't gonna say it anyways. Um,
Put her on
but
blast.
but I've seen a model and she's really beautiful, and I saw her Instagram pictures. I'm like, wow, I didn't say anything, but I'm like, wow, she really didn't don't even have to be doing that because she's beautiful. Like, yeah, and that's one thing. When you have a certain look about you, not that I'm bragging, but it's we're women, we're beautiful, we're models and everything. But and I think she was really beautiful. I'm like, she don't need to be doing none of that. She just needs to be signed to a good agency, take some good digitals, and they need to send her on some jobs. But I really do not remember her name.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If you do, feel free. Even choosing the guests for this theme, I had to be careful because on Instagram,
Mhm.
and I'm looking at certain profiles, and I'm like, okay, this seems good. And then I go, oh, let me just keep scrolling. Eh. And then
Mhm.
I see other stuff, and I'm like, oh, hey. Now for my eyes, I'm like, hey. But I said for this platform that I have, um, there's a certain, and I don't want to even say class, but there's a certain energy
Mhm. Mhm.
that I want on this podcast. So I didn't want the legs open and your tongue out,
Oh
ah,
my
all
god.
in your face,
No.
with that visual. Even though that's pleasing to my eyes, however, there's a certain standard here with the Blazer Line podcast. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you fit that. So,
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
indeed, indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
All right. So, runway. I've seen you on the runway,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Last episode, episode 51, the guest, she spoke about her experiences on the runway as well as her experiences backstage. So, backstage, what is that scene like for those who have
Backstage.
never experienced that?
Um. I'm sorry. Were you finished?
No, I was just saying, like, so show backstage for those who have never experienced that.
Yeah. Backstage, like okay, backstage is to me it's a bit challenging because you really have to be patient. If you're not patient, if you're not willing to like step on, you're gonna so somebody step on your toe, you're gonna step on somebody else's toe. That's how it is backstage. But if you're doing runway and you're in a small little space backstage, you're really gonna have to have a lot of patience because even designers, when it's time for you to go out, they're gonna be yelling, like get out, get like yo, what are you doing? No, that's not what you know. They're gonna be yelling at you. So you really do have to have patience, and sometimes like I've done shows where I mean I'm always pretty much patient, so it's not gonna bother me. But for other females who it may be their first time doing a fashion show, it's kind of chaotic backstage. It is because you have a lot of designers, models, and you have a lot of models who get confused. Like they'll probably like I know I've done it before. I went missing in one of my when I was supposed to walk. I didn't know I was supposed to walk again. But I
Mm.
went ahead and sat down. So backstage is kind of confusing sometimes. So but they didn't hold it over my head. I still got paid. I was able to pay a bill. So I mean it was okay, but backstage is chaotic. You gotta have a lot of patience. Because if you
Mm.
don't, things can get real rough backstage. And on the runway, when you walk on the runway, it's like when you're about to walk, you feel nervous. For me, You feel nervous, but then when you actually hit the end of the stage, you're like, wow, I'm here already. And then you walk back, and it's kind of like a rush, but it goes by so fast. It goes by really fast. So that's my experience on the runway. I do like the runway though. I do.
Have you ever fallen, tripped,
No, I've
or
never fallen.
almost and kind of played it off? None of that.
No, I have not. I no, I haven't. I remember one time I was on the runway, and I was actually kind of, we were supposed to pose at the end of the runway when we got up there, and I actually like kind of forgot to move. Like I was there at the front, and they were all walking back, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I got to walk back too. But it was, you know, but no, I've never tripped, never fallen, never played it off. No, nothing like that.
Mm, okay, I see you. Perfect.
Yeah.
Professional. In the chat, has anyone ever been to a fashion show? Have you ever seen one? When I was backstage, see, so as a guy model, not that I'm claiming to be a model. I've done modeling, but I'm not hanging that over my head. Um, but for me, there was downtime where it was like, okay, I went to this one lady and she got my hair twisted. Cool. I'm already dressed.
I remember that, right? I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
remember
chilling.
that. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then I see everybody else, the makeup and the lashes and the hair and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, so I got missing. I'm like, all right, well, I'm done. Like, I got time.
Yeah.
So when I got dinner and all this other stuff, but just from afar, just to pause and see backstage, I'm just like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's so many different energies and the personalities, and just like you said, it's if you got to be out on the stage, I can't talk to you like, hey, so it
Yeah.
would be nice if you can get on stage. It's
Hey,
like,
can you put this on for me? Like, no, you need to put this on. This is yours. That's yours. Please put that on. Don't mess up your makeup. Be careful of your hair. Stuff like that. Yeah, definitely. You cannot be like petting and powdering people when they're about to get on the runway.
yeah. When you're on the runway, do you just zone out? Is there a certain zone you're in, or are you able to see people that are in the audience? Or
I try to look forward because being on the runway. I learned this like a while back. I think my aunt had taught me this because she had told me that I should be a model when I was young, and I would always dress up and walk, and they would just look at me, and then she told me, she like, you need to look straight. You don't need to be looking at the audience. So I kind of like knew that. You don't ever look at the audience because they're taking pictures. The camera is like right in front of you taking a picture of you. So when they do that, if you're looking at the audience, you're gonna look like, that you're not paying attention, or you can fall if you're not paying attention. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, have you done any modeling for the the magazines or anything like that?
Have I think I've been in one magazine over in Europe. I've never actually bought it. But I've seen the pictures that went into the magazine. Um I don't know if I've ever, oh well, yeah, I think I did get published by this one guy that I shot with. I forgot his name. Oh man, I'm just forgetting people's names today. I
Yeah,
need to remember them.
I see that.
But yeah, I think I did get published a couple times. Um, yeah, I got published. I think like twice, and I did a shoot with a designer in Miami. I remember his name, Danny Santiago. I did a shoot with him, and I was supposed to get published in a magazine, but it never happened.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think I've been published like probably like twice. Yeah.
So, what's your favorite? What's your describe your ideal for lack of better terms, your ideal shoot,
My
location, vibe, all of that.
okay, got you. Okay. My ideal shoot, I like doing beauty, to be honest. Beauty's clean. You don't have to worry about, anything. Beauty's like just clean. It's just my face you're shooting. I don't have to worry about like, well, I do pose. But I do
Pose
like,
for me.
pardon?
Pose for me.
Pose?
Hey, hey. Okay, now
that,
I love
that
it.
that was what I could do in this space that I have here. Um, but yeah, I do like beauty. Like I said, it's pretty clean. You don't have to worry about anything. I do like makeup. I love doing my makeup. So I like when other people do my makeup and my hair. Uh, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much my ideal shoot. I do like being at the beach though, doing beauty shoots or studio, either or, but I do like to do beauty. Beauty is my favorite. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Do you have, is there a certain outfit or a certain type of outfit
Mhm.
that, because I'm sure that you look good in everything, but is there a certain vibe or is there a certain outfit that when it's time for this,
When it's time for modeling.
yeah, it's like,
Okay, well, I do like
this is it.
funky stuff. Like I like modest apparel, but I do like, things that look good because I mean, a lot of stuff do look good on me, not to toot my own horn, but being a model, most models stuff look good on
Toot
me.
it. Toot it.
No, no. But I mean I've done
Like, what's funky to you?
like big dresses, like what I do like? I like when I see females in that turtleneck with the suits on, with the big baggy suits on,
Okay.
like a turtleneck. I like stuff like that. What else do I like? I like colors. I like bright colors. I like to wear bright colors and just to have a good stylist that knows how to style and knows how to put things together, you know. So dresses, suits, bright colors, that's what I like. And yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there any
And
scene?
the funniest thing is, it really depends on the photographer. If you can put on anything as a model, as long as you have a good photographer to make it look good, they can make it look good. I mean, I've modeled, I did a shoot in New York maybe like a couple months ago, and the photographer was phenomenal. I mean, it really has to do with the photographer. No matter what you have on, the photographer can make it look real good. So, you know, I don't worry too much when I probably have something on that is not my favorite. But when that picture comes out, I'll be like, wow, that look good. I like this now. I like what I have on now. But it don't look too bad. So,
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I can relate to that. I've shot music videos,
mhm.
and the stylist of the video looked at each artist and said, "Okay, for you, you're gonna wear this," and I'm looking at it like, "That's not my style," and
Mhm.
so I'm going to the stores and I'm seeing this stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
not feeling it, but
Yeah.
I get it. And when I watch back the video, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Like, I
Mhm.
see it now. Like, then I couldn't see it, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you really don't know what looks good until you put it on because these stylists, I don't know where they get their ideas from, but they know what they're doing. They know. They know what they're doing, you know.
as
So,
they should.
as they should. They should. Yeah, they should. As they should. I just can't see it until I put it on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Huh. I like that. All right. So, for those listening, for those watching, rather. All right. Again, reminder: we are live on YouTube. Yes, indeed. Make sure you like this episode, episode 52. Make sure you also subscribe to the Blaze the Lion podcast. Mhm. Big shout to our sponsor, Star Child Social, for your marketing, for your social media marketing needs. Go to starchildsocial.com, whether you're looking for a website or logo design or just to enhance your brand, your look. Maybe you have all these ideas and content, but you don't have a centralized brand. All right. Make sure you check out our sponsor, starchildsocial.com. Mm-hmm. All right. So, yes, to those watching now, and they want to get into modeling,
Mm-hmm.
what should be their first step?
Their first step which, should be, start working with local photographers. Start working for local photographers. Start building your portfolio. Walking on your runway walk. But most importantly, just start connecting with people. Say, hey, um, let's collab. If they don't want to do a collab, hopefully they'll be kind enough to offer you like a rate or something, like a discounted rate. But once you really put in the effort to like book a shoot that may be a quality shoot, you have to pay for that shoot, then you'll have other people reach out to you. Say, hey, listen, let's collab. You'll have other photographers reaching out to you to collab. So, I mean, you can even if you have to pay for your first shoot, go ahead and pay for it. If you're lucky enough to get a collab with a photographer, go ahead and do it. Um, I would say for like the first couple of maybe months or maybe the first year, just shoot with people. Just practice. Just practice shooting. you know, don't do anything you feel uncomfortable with. Like I said, you don't have to do any bikini shoots. You really don't. But just do shoots that you can put together. You can start doing your own makeup. Just if you don't want to spend money on a shoot, or if you don't want to pay for a makeup artist, learn how to do those things on your own. Go to Sephora, try to figure out how to do your makeup. How to make it look decent for a shoot. So there's lots of ways you can do this without paying for a shoot, doing your own makeup, finding people to collab with. Now, if you can find that, then yeah, go ahead, pay for a shoot, pay for a makeup artist. Hopefully, you do your best on that shoot because you're paying for it. But yeah, and then just start building up your portfolio. Look at other models that are already signed. Look at their books and
Mm.
see what go on their agencies and see what their agency posts of them. And because that's what I had to do. I was hitting up models in New York. They're like, check out my book. I'm like, how do I check out your book? And I had no idea that I just had to go on the agency and look at their portfolio. I found it out later. But
Mm.
yeah, but I was always like scrolling down their pages, um, critiquing myself with their photos because they were professional models, and I wasn't signed yet. So I was always trying to look at not do exactly what they do, but
Mm.
just see how I could pose better and all that stuff. So that's pretty much what I did. Um, yeah, and I just work with people and collab and look up if you want to make some money. Look up paid gigs. Like go on Model Mayhem. A Model Mayhem's really really like outdated, but you can still find some jobs on there to pay a bill or something. So yeah, and then just work, and then once you get to a certain point where you feel like you can send your digitals in, you go ahead and take fresh digitals and make sure you go to somebody who knows how to take digitals first of all. You'll find that person though. You'll find that person. And then just send your digitals in. And whenever you send your digitals into that agency, call that agency and follow up with them. Say, hey, I sent my digitals in. Did you have a chance to look at them? Or you can contact a model, and a model can be like, well, I can refer you, because that's what happened with me. I was
Mm.
referred by a model, and they referred my name to the agency I'm signed with now. And, thank God I was able to set up a meeting with them and everything. So you never know. To reach out to other models, say, hey, listen, how is this agency? How is that agency? Are they good? You gotta like talk to people. You really do. and find out. It's just like when you're going to go live somewhere, you want to talk to the neighbors to see how the living area is. Like, hey, you know, how's the landlord? How's that neighbor? How's that tenant? You know, how's the community? You want to figure out how the community is with your agency. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's my thing.
Great gems right there. Makes makes total sense.
Yeah.
Total sense.
Thank you.
In this current um landscape
Uh-huh.
that we're in, is it essential for a model to post some of her content, some of her work on her social media? Is that a absolute must or not necessarily?
I mean, I gotta think about that one. Wow, I haven't posted. Well, I posted the other day, but I really haven't been posting a lot. Um, I would say yes, post. Yeah, you got to post nice pictures. I think having a good profile is important. Um, it says a lot about a person when your agency goes and looks at your profile. Because I remember when I sat down with my agency, there was one picture that they saw. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is it. This is it. Yeah, you're fine." Like, so you always want to have really nice pictures. You know, you want to have your portfolio on your Instagram together. I like to have decent photos. You know, I mean, I might mess around. Sometimes at one point, I thought I was actually too serious on my social media because I would never post like selfies. All my photos were very professional. So I said, I'm gonna pose like a selfie once in a while. You know, it's okay. So I started doing that, but I didn't make it get out of hand. You know, I don't. You know, you still got to post professional pictures and show people you're serious. Because if you want people to reach out to you to collab with you want people to look at your profile and be like, okay, yeah, I gotta be on point, reaching out to this model. Not that you want to intimidate them, but, you know, it's just like when you go to the grocery store, you got to look presentable. Like your presentation, how you look, you know, is
Mm-hmm.
important. So you have to keep that up to date.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, absolutely. We know with social media, it's there are a lot of women and I'm sure
Mhm.
probably men
Yeah.
that looking at their profile, their pictures, I couldn't tell if they were actually a model or they just like to show their body off.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. See
you
that
know,
that's another thing. So, you know, people will look at your profile. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I got like a DM with somebody wanting to collab who was just like, you know, they like you look at my profile, you know I'm a model, you know? So I mean, I don't know. I haven't really gotten any DMs other than like people who really want to work with me and people who are interested, like really interested and serious about what they do. I don't know. Maybe I look mean on my social media, but I just have not. I haven't gotten any of those. So thank God.
hmm,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I'm looking behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what time it is?
What the color game?
Hey,
Yeah.
it is color time.
Mm-hmm.
Color time.
Yeah.
Color time.
Okay.
All right. So, this segment of our show is called Color Time.
Color
And
time.
mhm. And for those that are new to the show or listening, this is the part of the show where I, the host,
Mm-hmm.
will say a random color, and our featured guests will say what that color means. The first thing that comes to mind, whether it's professional, whether it's logical, whether it's sensual, whether it reminds her of a certain story or a certain quote, spiritual, anything. There is no right or wrong answer as long as it comes from you. Here it is. So, with that said, are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
Tonight's episode is also sponsored by, well, soon though, soon. Get
What, Avion?
you.
Avion?
Soon come, soon come. All right.
Soon come things.
Mm.
Yeah.
First color, olive.
Olive. The first thing that comes to mind when you say olive. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure I got it. Olive. Olive. Um. Hmm. Olive. Wow. That. That. I didn't. I wasn't ready for that one. I was not ready. Olive. Hmm. Well, I'm not really a big fan of olives. I'm not really a big fan of olives. I've tried one before. I was like, I don't know how people like this. Um, but olive. Hmm. I'm trying to look in my closet if I have anything olive. I don't have anything olive. 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 I have no idea. What the heck? Where'd you get that color from?
I am looking at a book and it looked kind of olive. So
Olive tree. You know what? Olive oil. Olive.
I figured that would have been.
Olive. Olive oil is really good. Olive oil is really good to cook with. Olive oil is better than vegetable oil. Olive oil is, they, you ever heard the thing where they anoint the head with the olive oil?
Mm-hmm,
So yeah, when people pray. So
mm-hmm.
yeah, olive is a good thing. Did I answer your question?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Color number two,
Mm-hmm.
sea green.
Sea green. Sea green. Okay. Sea green. Sea green. Sea green. Um, what comes to mind when you say sea green? The sea. The sea. Yeah. The sea. Yeah. That's my answer.
Okay. There it is.
That's it.
Color number
Oh,
three.
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not rushing. I'm not rushing.
What is that color called? I'm looking at it too. All right. You can't say the word that's in this color.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Lipstick red.
Okay. Lipstick red. Hmm. Lipstick red. What comes to mind when you say lipstick red? Lipstick red. I mean, I do have a lot of red lipsticks. Um. Hmm. I think of my sister's car.
Okay.
Yeah, my sister's car is lipstick red. And you know what I hear about red cars? That you get a lot of tickets. Is that
Mm.
true?
I've
I
never
heard,
owned a red car.
I heard the insurance rate goes up on the car when you have a red car.
I've always wanted a red car though.
Yeah, probably. Well, you're gonna have to, and they say that you get a lot of tickets with a red car because it looks like it's going faster than it usually is
It is.
because it's red. Now, I was thinking of what car I would get if the same candy paint color. It would be a blue. It would be a blue car. But yeah, red. I think of my sister's car. My sister had a red Lexus. Yeah.
Mm.
And it's a nice car. It really is. I've driven it before. It's really nice. But I do go fast. on the road. I got a ticket the other day. I
Uh-oh.
sure did for going fast. Not in that car, in my car. But yeah, I think of myself.
Did you flash the model card
No, I didn't. I asked
or
them.
like pose? Did you?
No, I didn't. I never do that when I get pulled over by the cops. For some reason, I just never exercise that part of me. I just get the ticket and I leave. But this time, I asked him if he was buying or selling his home because I'm a realtor, also. So he says, "No, I'm not. I'm not buying or selling a house. I already have my house. I'm not selling my house." I said, "Okay," but he still gave me the ticket. But to be honest with you, he did have a little mercy on me because I was doing a lot of bad stuff. Yeah, I was backing up. I was switching lanes without the indicator. I was no, it was not good. It was not good, Blaze.
Okay. Mercy is good.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah,
needed sometimes.
yeah,
Indeed. Okay.
yeah.
Let's go eat. I should probably go easy on her. So I feel like I've been kind of I've been kind of showing out. So let me go easy. Feel free in the chat to also comment to share what these colors mean to you, or if you have any ideas for a color, put them in the chat. All right, I think we're on color number 4. Let's go with black.
Black. I do like black. Um, I think black is very professional. When you want to let somebody know that you're ready and you're showing up, like let's say I'm closing a deal on a home, you know, somebody's closing a deal. You show up in black and you present the deal. They know you're serious. Because black really means, well, to me, when I wear all black, I'm serious. I want to look professional. I want to look like I'm
Are you
coming.
wearing black right now?
Now I'm wearing brown.
Okay.
It's brown, yeah. I know it's close to black. But when I wear black, it's to me it's very professional. I mean business when I wear black. I'm ready. I want you to look at me a certain way when I wear black, that I'm professional, that I have my stuff together. Um, especially when when you're in all black and then you pull up in a black car. That I like that look. I do like the shade black. Black is not a color. That's what they say. I'm not sure how true that is, but they say it's a shade. Um, but yeah, I do like black. Very professional. That's what comes to mind when you say the color black or the shade black is professionalism to me. Because I used to work in retail, and we would have to wear all black, and I would like it because it would make me feel professional. You know, yeah.
So should I be offended that you're not wearing black on this professional podcast?
Well, no, you shouldn't be offended. Because I wore this because I said, listen, it's gonna be a chill podcast. We're gonna talk about topics, and I'm gonna be comfortable. And when you're comfortable, things usually go really smooth. You're not when you're in black. It's like, okay, you're like politically correct. You're like, okay, well, this needs to be here, that needs to be there. And I didn't get the feeling that this was that kind of podcast. I felt like this was going to be like a comfortable, back and forth with me and you. So I just was like, I'm going to be comfortable.
Hmm. Good answer.
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, you could have showed up in like a bikini or something. So
Well,
blast from the past, like, hey. So
I'm not trying to. Well, I mean, my bills are okay. My bills are fine. Yeah.
I love it. All right. So in the midst of this pandemic, you got signed in 2020. We were smacking in this whole pandemic. What
Yeah.
effect did what effect did that have on your career? Was it well, yeah. So what effect did it have on your career?
Honestly, I mean, throughout 2020, I was working. I never stopped working throughout 2020 because I was working a 9 to 5. And then I got signed. And I mean, to be honest with you, the pandemic didn't really affect me, to be honest. It really
So
did
you were
not.
chilling while we were all suffering here.
Well,
I'm messing with
I was gonna say, well, no, I shouldn't say that. Well, honestly, I was fine. Throughout the whole pandemic, I was okay, you know. I was working, I was, doing my thing, I was, trying to get signed, but throughout the pandemic, it really didn't affect me at all. Didn't really affect me. Things actually, and this is not just for me because when I talk to other people, a lot of the times when I talk to people, and there might be some stories, I know a lot of people lost their jobs, and I'm not boasting or bragging, but for a lot of other people, the pandemic actually was beneficial. I was talking to this one just guy, and I guess he has a business in New York, a jewelry business in New York, and he says that one day he went downtown to his store and people actually wanted to spend money. Like there was like a whole line outside of his shop. People were like, I want to spend money. Just let
those
me come in and
stimulus
spend
checks.
money. I think so. I think so. But I mean, for a lot of people, it wasn't good. But for a lot of other people, it was good. You
Yeah,
know, it was beneficial to them. And not that I'm minimizing what happened to the people who didn't benefit from the pandemic, but you would think that in the pandemic we would all be like, oh man, this is really bad. But for some people, it was really good. I'm not sure how, because
yeah,
I didn't get affected by the pandemic, but I don't have stories like these people who it was beneficial for. You know, I just know that I just wasn't affected. So, but it all worked out for me in the pandemic. Um, a lot happened. A lot of good happened in the pandemic.
mm-hmm, yeah. This podcast was birthed in the midst of the pandemic.
Wow, that's good. That's really good.
So I wasn't thinking about podcasting. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we're sitting at home like, hey, do you want to start a podcast?
sure.
Why not?
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing.
yeah,
1 year in, I still don't know what I'm doing. It just looks like I do. Eh,
yeah.
but just having fun with it. So, all right. You think that you're slick though. You wiggled your way out of the color time. See?
Oh, I did. Oh, I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
realize. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Back to color time. We got two more colors.
Okay. Okay.
Here we go. Let's go with plum.
Plum. A plum. Okay, I have a dress right in front of me that is plum, and I have to get a belt for it because I wore it one time, and it's like a loose dress. So you just reminded me that I have to get a belt for this plum dress that I have. So
You're welcome.
that's one of my, yeah. That's what comes to mind when I'm looking at it right now. That's what comes to mind when you say plum.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing else.
No. Okay. All right. Final color.
Mm-hmm.
Should I go easy on her?
Yay or nay? Put in the chat. Yes or no.
Yes, in the chat. Should I go easy on her or should I give her something? Or should I go in my bag and pull out one of them weird colors? Hmm. We got
uh,
one yes.
yeah, yeah, one yes.
Hmm. Final color. Let's go with let's go with off-white.
Off white. Off white. So I've been looking for an off white dress. I have, because I have something planning. I'm plan. Well, I have something planned a couple months ahead. So I'm looking for an off white dress. So I mean, that's the only thing that comes to mind when I think of off white. I actually saw a dress last night that is off white that I think I'm gonna purchase. So that's the only thing that comes to mind. Is that an okay answer?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the only thing that comes to mind. Off white, and there's actually a brand called Off White. It's very expensive.
Mm.
Very expensive. I was gonna buy. Well, I wasn't gonna buy, but during the pandemic, there was actually a shoe. I think it was a shoe that I was gonna buy. It was a brand Off White, and my friend told me, "Do not buy that shoe." It was like 400 and something dollars. He says, "Do not buy that shoe." I said, "I'm not gonna buy it." I was gonna buy it. So yeah, that's what comes to mind.
Mm. Okay.
And your
You didn't.
wall, and your wall is Off White. It's not Off White. No. Okay. Never mind.
Mm, ish.
Ish,
Ish.
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 Yeah, ish. Yeah, ish.
Ish.
I got good eyes. I do.
Yeah. Hmm, it's kind of what's the difference between isn't like off white and cream and beige kind of
Yeah, kind of the same thing.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay then yeah.
kind of the same thing.
Oh, she's getting tired on us. All right.
No, no, I'm not getting tired.
So you come to the portion of the show where our guest, we're gonna put 30 seconds on the clock, and our guest is gonna stand up and dance to a
Oh
random song that we're gonna
my
play. All
God.
right. So 30 seconds on the clock.
Okay, hold on. Okay,
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
okay.
But she was ready. See,
Oh,
I like that.
I was ready. I was gonna do something, you know, whether it be posing or, you know, whatever.
I love that though. It seems that the theme also for this month, besides models and fashion, is also staying ready. Because both of my guests last week and tonight, in different ways, in totally different ways, both of you have shown the importance of being ready, of staying ready. So
Mhm.
that is definitely a gem.
Yeah.
So you gave tips on those who wanted to get into the industry, what they should do, collab, get in contact with some photographers, get some pictures, get some content.
Mhm.
All
Mhm.
right. All right. So how exactly does one stay calm in the midst of cameras flash and in the midst of maybe because it feels like there's a calm and there's the rush or the exposure or so how do you because again if you allow the nerves and stuff to run
Mhm.
rampant then that can so how does one like yourself remain so calm in the height of all the attention and all
You know what? I don't. You just well, I mean, like in the like okay, like I've had people come up to me and say, "I've seen you before," and I'm like, "You have?" Because you if you don't really think of yourself as like okay, let's say you know that people know you. Um, I don't think of myself as people knowing me. I don't like when I had a model come up to me. She said, "You're everywhere." I'm like, "Really?" And I really mean when I say really, I'm like I really mean really. I'm not just saying it because of I'm trying to play it off. I really don't even be thinking. Like the other day, somebody asked me, "How many jobs have you had any like professional jobs?" I'm like, yeah, I have. I can't remember them though. So,
hmm.
you like to like I like to model and that's what I like to do, you know. Some people may get into modeling for the wrong reasons, maybe because they want the attention or whatever. But I do like to model, and it's one of the things that I think I'm good at. You know, because I always ask myself, what am I good at? You know, like what can I do? And this is the only thing that I probably really ever like stuck to, and some other things. You know, but this is something that I really do like to do. But you know, you really can't do it for other people. And if you're doing it for somebody else, when somebody comes to you and say, "Oh, I've seen you over there," you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, no, I know, yeah, I'm popping," you know, yeah, you know. So, but if you don't do it for those reasons, then when somebody comes to you and they say um and say something, or maybe you are in the hype of a situation, you know, it's really just the hype. It's not, you don't have to be a part of that hype. You can just say, "Hey, listen, I'm just here to do my job," because it is a job at the end of the day. But it's
Mm-hmm.
a job that I like to do. It's a job that I enjoy doing. Um, because you know you're flexible with your hours. You can still make a decent income with being a model. Um, so yeah, I mean it's pretty much because I like to do it, not because of what other people like. What I can like the praise that I can get out of it. It's not because of that, you know.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, yeah. And then sometimes even when I post pictures on Instagram, it's because I need to post pictures. Because I need to like refresh my content. It's not likes are good, comments are good, but it's not because if I want likes and comments, it's just because I need to refresh my profile a little bit, you know?
That being said, everybody go on her page and like and comment. What's your what's your IG again?
It is NAT_URALLL. Yeah. That's
When you're live and you're like, where's the underscore button again? All right.
yeah. But did I answer your question? Did I answer your question well?
Yes.
I did? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. That was actually leading me up to my next question. Well, that was leading me up to that question, rather, is if people are seeing you right now and they're like, damn, I've seen her before. She's
Mhm.
friggin' everywhere. Um, how can they get in contact with you? Maybe other people. And I don't know how it is. So when you're signed to an agency, you're only allowed to do work for that agency, or are you allowed to go outside and
Yeah, I can do other work for without my agency, but I do have to let my agency know that I'm working with someone. Um
okay,
I do have to let them know. And I usually do let them know um when I'm working with somebody, but I just have to let them know. Yeah.
okay,
And they'll approve it. Yeah.
okay. Sounds easy enough. So on Instagram, her Instagram is NAT underscore URA three L's?
Yes.
Three
Mhm.
L's.
3 L's. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. I love it. I love it. In closing, any short story, any life experience, anything you would like to share with those that are watching, with those that are listening, maybe they are whether they're going into modeling or just life in general, and they're kind of hesitant, they're procrastinating on doing certain things for their
Mhm.
career or for their passion. Anything you would like to share to those people?
What would I like to share? What I like to share. I mean, um, what would I like to share? I mean, if you really want to do something, you know, all you really have to do. And you, well, for me, I knew modeling was something that I wanted to do when I first started doing it. I said, okay, this is it. All right, this is something that, because I could never. One thing when I was in high school, I always asked myself, I always knew that I didn't stick to track and field. I didn't stick to, you know, like, you know, when you go back to, when you have that, like, when you go back to school for like the first 2 weeks and you're doing good and you're on track and you're bringing all your books to class. And that third week, you kind of like slack off because you're really not that interested. I always knew that there were certain things that I wasn't interested in, and I would try them, and I would never stick to it. So, I mean, if modeling or even acting or anything you want to do, you'll know if you want to stick to it. You'll know because there's certain things that everybody's good at. There's one field that everybody's good at. We all have our gifts and we all have our strengths in a field that we can just hone in on. And we know that that's gonna stick. So you just have to know, and you will know when that thing is for you. um but in everything there's good and bad, and
Hmm.
if being a model is what I wanted to do, I could have definitely turned it into something like that is not good, like, in my opinion, like bikinis and swimwear and nudity and all that stuff, and everything you can abuse it. But I chose to um you know, turn the steering wheel and do modest apparel and do things that you really don't have to be showing your body out because, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't want to see another bikini shoot. So yeah, I mean, but you have to use whatever you're getting into, use it for the greater good, use it for, put yourself in a positive light and make sure that your image is not being tainted by what you want to do, because you can't use modeling for bad. You can use anything for good and bad. So just make sure that you're using it for the greater good, making yourself look good at the end of the day when you're in front of that camera. So yeah, that's pretty much my story to anybody who's trying to do something out there, whatever it is. Yeah.
Hmm. Indeed, indeed. For the future, moving forward,
Hmm.
where do you see yourself? What are your goals, overall goals in the next year or two?
Well, I would like to exceed in my real estate career. I really would. And I would also like to be um, signed to another agency somewhere else. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So your one-stop shop.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
looking for a amazing model, right here. And
Hmm.
if you're looking to sell a property or buy a property
Or rent.
or rent, see, right here in the South Florida area. So
Yeah.
there you go. There you go. I thank you so much for being a part of the Blazer Lamb podcast, for representing on episode 52.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Next week, we have our final episode of the month, as well as our final episode of season two. And next week, we'll be having a panel. So we'll have an array of different guests in the fashion industry, all sharing their experiences, the ups and the downs, and modeling and dealing with models and just basically being in fashion. So you don't
Yeah.
want to miss next week. That'll close out the year and it'll close out our December theme. And then we go into January and that starts season three. And we have great themes planned for you all for season three. Themes like DJs. Sometimes we forget about the DJs. The DJs play a huge part in hip hop, but not just hip hop, in just music on a whole. Many of our favorite records were started by the DJs. So we're going to be paying homage and showcasing DJs. We also have themes like power couples. Mm. So if you and your partner, um, want some inspiration, want some motivation, want some tips on how to be successful together as a unit, you don't want to miss that theme for power couples as well. We're going to have also book authors and a whole long list of different themes to not just pique your interest and to entertain you, as Renae can so easily get into her pose and can so easily be ready to dance. Uh.
That was not a good pose. That was not a good pose. I wasn't ready.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I just have one pose. This is my go-to pose. Okay, you ready for it?
Hmm.
That's fun.
That's it. That's it. That's
That's
it.
fun.
You know. Hey, I mean, you have a beard to play with, so yeah.
Yeah. It's just
I always like when guys do this. Feel it looks so comforting.
it is.
It
It
is,
actually it's very soothing.
yeah.
It's very soothing. When I'm in deep thought,
Yeah.
hmm, when I'm in the gym and I'm thinking of a crazy routine.
Mhm. Yeah,
hmm,
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Sasha, yes. So we have been trying to plan a New Year's Eve episode because we did it last year in the midst of this pandemic. So I'm not saying no, that there's no New Year's Eve episode, but I'm not confirming either. So it's kind of in the works. So I will keep you posted, and I will, of course, promote it and post it if we do officially have a New Year's Eve episode. All right, which is New Year's Eve is on a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, so not saying yes, but I'm not saying no either. So, there it is. So, thank you all for tuning in to the Blaze the Lion podcast, episode 52, with our lovely guest here, Model Renee. So, can I call you that?
Yeah,
Model Renee?
Renae. Yeah, model Renae.
Yeah. I like that flow. Model
Model.
Renee.
Model
Yeah.
Renae.
Yeah.
That's a new
Yeah.
one. That's a new one, but it's
It's
okay.
new. You're welcome. See? This is what I do. All right. Thank you all again for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, the Blaze the Line podcast. This episode right here, tomorrow, the audio will be available for all you who like to stream and you don't want to watch our lovely faces on TV. Her stroking her imaginary beard, right? If
Yeah.
you don't want to see all that and you just want to hear us, then the audio version of this specific podcast will be available tomorrow on all your streaming sites, or should I say the major streaming sites, from your Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, so on and so forth. All right. They're already sending you love in the chat. See that. Thank you for being a light. Thank you for inspiring our guests.
You're
And
welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for having me again.
no problem, no problem. This was the Blaze the Lion podcast. Peace and love.